Howdy! Welcome to my Dishonored 2 Let's Play. My name is Trav, and anyone who knows me knows that Dishonored is my favorite game series. Every DLC and the first Dishonored, second Dishonored, I would say I have played the second Dishonored the most amount of times, yet still sometimes when I play I have no idea where I'm going. I like the world, the culture, and the gameplay a lot in the Dishonored world, and I wanted to share that with you. And I'm sure / know that there are other Dishonored 2 Let's Plays, and you could probably find it from more experienced Let's Play creator. This is my first one. However, I am specifically doing this because I want to show how I like to play it. I want to show a lens into the plot that I see, the low chaos Emily route. While I think that this is the ideal way to play the game if you're going for plot and accuracy, I have no qualms against anyone who wants to play it however you want. There's a reason that they let you play as Corvo. There's a reason you can do high chaos, and there's a reason they made different endings. This isn't to say that I think anyone's playing it wrong per se. I just want to show what I see. Now, going through and editing the first gameplay that I did, first I realized that I played it way too long to incorporate into a first episode Let's Play video. And second thing I realized was that there was a lot of background noise, and I wasn't giving commentary the way that I probably should have. Also, my cam, I'm going to make it a bit smaller because I feel as though it obstructed a part of the game. So you can look forward to seeing that in the next installment. Words cannot describe how grateful I am that you are coming with me on this journey, even if you're just skimming it. It means a lot to me that I get to share this, and alright, let's just get into it.
I'm gonna start a new game. I say I'm good at it, but I also always pick medium. Do we want to do the tutorial? Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do the tutorial. Oh, also, this is my first time playing it on a computer, so...
I remember training with my father in the years after the rat plague. Someday, he said, our enemies will come for you. The sounds and smells of Dunwall never change much.
Giving you guys some subtitles.
This is my city. What training regimen does Father have in store for me today?
All right, Majesty. Let's see what you can do.
Did it.
Maybe I won't be that great at it. We'll see.
You'll have to sprint, vault the obstacle, then slide under.
Never doubted I could make that. What's next? No way except to climb. If only I could spend every day running and jumping. Now to test my agility.
Come to me.
I can reach the edge with the right jump.
You've learned well. Let's see how quiet you are, young lady.
Alright, stealth mode. I am going to be playing this game mostly in stealth. Because that's what causes less chaos.
Father's always on about the value of quiet feet.
That's my girl. Don't let me hear you or see you. Given time, an enemy will notice you, even if you're at the edge of their peripheral vision. Most people won't notice you if you're above them, overhead.
Didn't see anything at all. Why fight when you can slip past?
Exactly. I'm also bad at real-time fighting, but that's my preference.
Remember, a pistol will wake up everyone in the building. Your crossbow is quiet.
Really? Quiet? Do you believe me if I said I forgot how to fire this thing? We just did it. Figured it out.
Perfect shot. Time for some more weapons and combat training. Let's beat each other up, shall we? Yes. You hit him. That's my daughter. When someone swings a sword at you, block. Good. Well done.
Oh shit.
Block with your blade.
No.
If you time your block right, you'll throw an enemy off balance. Come on. You're quick. Come on.
Fuck.
Come on. Smart move. That'd stop even the most black-hearted killer. You can choke an enemy out, even in combat. Come on.
getting used to the buttons. I used to be a console.
While they're off balance, deliver a fatal blow.
Just a console.
When someone swings a sword at you, block. Go for the fatality. Feel better knowing you can take care of yourself. When trouble does finally come, you're ready to fight.
In the first game, Corvo wasn't talkative, so to speak. He did not have a voice actor. He was not mute. He just didn't have a voice actor. And then they gave him one for this game, which is absolutely amazing.
Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. In the aftermath, the men who sent the assassin tried to use me as a pawn in a game of power. They would have succeeded, but my father, Corvo Attano, hunted them down and cut their conspiracy to pieces. All these years later, am I the ruler my mother wanted me to be? Now, we face a new crisis. A monster the papers are calling the Crown Killer has been picking off my enemies and dressing it up like my father and I are responsible. I don't know whether to get on a ship and sail to the opposite side of the world, or to have everyone around me executed.
Watch your step, Majesty.
I'm not looking forward to all the ceremony today.
Your signet ring. There. You're ready.
Thank you, Alexei. Open the doors.
All hail Her Imperial Majesty, Emily Caldwin.
Loyal subjects, we're going through a difficult time, but today we honor my mother, the late Jessamine Caldwin. May her memory survive through the ages.
Emily,
You look tired, Father.
every year I think the anniversary of Jessamine's death will be easier, but it never is.
I wish Mother was still the Empress. I don't think I'm very good at this.
You're still learning. Don't worry about the rabble-rousers, and we'll catch the Crown Killer, eventually.
People are saying it's you. That these assassinations are a misguided effort to protect me.
No, someone's trying to make us look guilty by targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? Courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsay says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's intriguing.
Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
What is this, Ramsay? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo Attano, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks. For now, I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jessamine Caldwin, your rightful Empress, Delilah Caldwin.
Impossible.
My mother had a sister?
My dearest niece, hello.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Yuhorn Jacob Caldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Caldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Caldwin.
Royal Protector. How naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful Empress has returned.
All hail the Empress Delilah, first of her name. Arrest Emily Caldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
What?
Sword can't still my heart.
And herein lies the choice where we get to pick who we play as. That is emotional to me every single time. So I'm gonna play as Emily Caldwin, as I mentioned earlier. What happened to Corvo just previously in that scene was the mark of the outsider that he previously had got taken away. That opens up opportunity for, if you're playing as Corvo and you want to do it without the powers, you are allowed to decline it because you'll be offered it later. That is essentially what happens. Furthermore, at the end of the game, only one of them will have the mark. What else did I want to add? I wanted to add the fact that... No, I forgot it. We're just doing this. There'll be time.
Cast you in cold marble. Sweet girl, over time you will come to love me. Perhaps someday you'll see me as the mother you lost. But until then, you'll be kept out of trouble.
I'll lock Lady Emily in her chambers, then I'll bring her to Coldwood Prison until her trial. My father lost it all when I was a boy, so now I wear this uniform, and I send 20-year-olds out to patrol the rose gardens instead of drinking with the men from the shooting club.
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lady Emily, what happened?
That'll be all, Captain Mayhew.
No!
So that's the Royal Protector's fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half? There's a legend in the Tower Guard about the Empress's last resort, a safe room inside your chambers holding enough gold to buy a good-sized island. They say that this ring is one of the only 2 keys to exist.
What happened? Alexei. The throne room. Father. Nothing I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
Perfect. Empress, we face yet another murder, and and I cannot remain silent on this matter. Strange, is it not, that all the victims have openly opposed you? If not strange, then oh so very convenient. Is there anything you wish to tell me, Majesty? How can I be an advisor if you don't include me in these most sensitive of endeavors? I feel I must be the only person in Dunwall who doesn't know the truth about the Crown Killer. Don't leave me out in the cold. I remain your trusted servant and advisor, Leonora Helmswater.
Ramses are gonna be back in fashion in Dunwall. You'd be smart to remember.
I am so sorry. It is now too sensitive. We'll get there.
Should I just spin it and pick a place to hide for a while? I need time to think.
One thing I absolutely love about these games
How many times have I looked at that skyline? It feels like everything just changed.
is the art, the skyline, the way this is constructed and looks. It's beautiful.
Delilah is some sort of witch. How is it?
Where's the Royal Protector?
There's a coup underway. My father is... he's imprisoned, for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Through your safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks, looking for the Royal Protector. Find her. Get out of Dunwall.
Alexei, I'm sorry. Goodbye.
The amount of strength that it takes to recognize that all this is happening and you can't sit and mourn, you have to figure it out. Alright, I need to go get Ramsey, which means I'm going to save. Alright.
Emily, I know times are hard. You're the ruler of 4 nations, and I won't pretend to understand the pressure you're under. Only you, and your mother before you, could know what that's like. Whoever's killing off your enemies is doing so for calculated effect, undermining us. I do know what it's like to be blamed for murders you didn't commit, but trust me, we'll find this Crown Killer, and they'll pay. Tomorrow is the anniversary of her death. A sad day for sure. But I want you to remember all that's happened over the last 15 years. You've held on to the throne, and you've done what you thought was right for the people of the Empire. You drained the flooded district, kept the gangs in check, and yesterday we launched a magnificent ship bearing Jessamine's name. You're becoming the sovereign your mother wanted you to be, and I'm proud of you.
I love Corvo so much. Oh, so much.
These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Serkonos.
I guess he sort of saw me before I fully... Well, I said drop. I didn't really want to be that person. Just throwing them around. There's also a lot of beautiful art here, and it's just...
Yo, sure, yeah, he knows how to talk with the boss. With a lick spittle. Put in a request for new boots, and what did I get? A sock. One useless sock. Hey, who is...
Alright. Okay.
Traitors.
So, that's when I go back. If I kill, like, one or two every so often, sometimes I'll just be like, oh, the hell with it, and I'll leave it. If I feel like I can easily actually make them unconscious and not see me, or sneak past them, I will generally go back. So, I think... it's this one. So he's gonna go that way. The only reason I got caught was because I pressed the wrong button. It's supposed to be control, and I kept using shift. Come on, buddy, come on, get.
Traitors.
She is filled with so much rage, and I love her so much. So much. They talk about comfort characters that just make you feel at home. It's Emily Caldwell. Emily Caldwell all the way. I like putting them all in the same spot, throwing them all in the bathtub, bathroom. Easy. And I'm gonna save. I'm gonna do this a lot. Alright, so throne room. What does this one say? Safe room. Okay, so I have to go to the throne room to get rid of Ramsey. To remove him. Now I really want Parasoda, but I'm looking at the
Throne room blocked off. We should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the King and Queen of Morley. Did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, the cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain.
Why did it sound like Corvo? Like, I know it wasn't.
Ramsey's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's my fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsey is too dangerous to be left in play.
If he eats
So
it,
diplomatic.
then what?
Are you gonna go? Here, pick up.
This won't leave my hand again.
Okay, I'm gonna have to pick him up later. I want to finish what's going on at the bottom here. And yes, save, as always, all the time. Shit.
Hello?
Shit. Bruh, I'm right here.
Oh well. That's it.
Request for new boots, and what did I get? A sock. One useless sock.
Senseless slaughter.
Oh, something stinks around here. Not my job to clean it up. I don't like that. Better have a look.
Oh, fuck this shit.
What's going on here?
Alright. I don't think I have to necessarily kill them. So...
Killed for their loyalty to me. Damn the Duke of Serkonos. Damn Delilah. Father, I don't know how, but I'll make this right. I promise. Look at this place. Her reign is off to a grand start.
The sass. God. I have a friend who
They're
reminds
going to
me
pay
so
for
much.
this. But I need to get away from here.
I mean, no. Emily reminds me of
Barred from the outside.
one of my friends. Anyway, it's the sass and the anger and the... Okay, someone had a key. Which one of you was it?
Ramsey's men barred it so he'd have time to loot my safe room.
Ooh. Okay, so I don't actually need to be here, so I can just go to my previous game, not re-enter this room, and then I don't have to worry about having a kill count. I will eventually. But today is not that day. Alright, that was a waste of time. Well, it wasn't. I got some of her commentary. Looking around the house. Now...
Anton
I just
Sokolov made this
threw
lock.
him on the ground. Sit there, looks comfy cozy.
Now you've got what you wanted, Ramsey. The Imperial suite atop Dunwall Tower. Stay put until this is all set straight, Ramsey. Enjoy the rations and well water, sleeping next to a fortune.
Bone charms. A sailor's blessing, they say. I'm not going to read all of these unless they're kind of story relevant or anything. I mean, they all sort of are. They're world relevant. There are some that are more closely relevant to the characters, which I find really fascinating. Stuff like this just gives you some flavor about different places and history and all that. I absolutely... Wait, what did that say about pregnancy? Increasing a lover's vigor or providing defense against defense against pregnancy. I love that phrasing. Not like protection or anything. Emily drew this. Whoopsie. Emily drew this as a kid. That too. And then when she was in the Golden Cat in the first game. Here's a beautiful map. So right now we're in Dunwall, which is right there. Okay, didn't need to do that. Right there. Later on in the game we head over to Karnaca, and that's actually where Corvo grew up. But these other places will be referenced. Also a place called the Pendician Continent, which we do not see here. Once I see it, I will show it out.
Alright, so time for a trap stop. I am just pausing for a second to show you the map because I realize that it gives you so much context when you're reading some of the stuff. So this is the map. We have the Isles over on the left-hand side, and we have the Pendician Continent on the right. As you can see here, it is very small compared to the Pendician Continent. It is said to basically be deserted, a wasteland. A few people have visited, Sokolov being one of them, if not the only one that we know of. And this is a time where this is very far away, and effective long-distance communication doesn't super happen here, and it's not something that you're going to hop on a boat to. Over here are the Isles on this side, and this is what you're going to hear a lot of stuff about. We have Serkonos, which has Karnaca there, which is where we're going to be in this game. And then we have Gristle, which is where Dunwall is. And up north, we have Morley and Tivia. And I'll get back at you with some facts about each of these places just kind of throughout the game. And over here, we have the months. There are 13 months of the year. The Outsider, which you'll end up meeting fairly soon in this game, or you've already met if you've played the first Dishonored, has a song about him called The Month of Darkness, which you also hear on a street corner at one point, and it's really brings you into the culture a bit. Another fun fact is the month of seeds and the month of harvest here are actually switched around. This is an error on this map, so it is the month of Earth and then the month of harvest. And it's the month of seeds down here where it says harvest. Now, when the month of songs ends, the month of Earth doesn't necessarily come straight after. While it is 364 days with 28 days per month, and there are 13 months, the decision as to when the calendar resets is actually the responsibility of the High Overseer of the Abbey of the Everyman. During the time between the month of songs and the month of Earth, there's an event called the Fugue Feast. This is a time where criminal activity is simply overlooked. It is referred to as an indeterminate time of sanctioned anarchy. More facts will follow, but let's get back to the game.
Oh, I love this one. Letter from Wyman. Emily, I didn't want to wake you this morning, but you'll forgive me since we must have said goodbye 100 times yesterday night, and the only chance I get to see you is with your hair all whichever way is while you're asleep. As soon as the sun rises, you'll put on your Empress face. It makes me happy that I know your real face, the one that laughs at our silly rhymes. I don't want to go back to Morley, but I'm needed there. It'll be 4 months before we see each other again. I'll miss you. And yes, I'll bring you some white leaf tobacco for your hookah. Lord Corvo, if you're reading this letter as per your royal protector functions, know that I am joking and perfectly aware that the white leaf tobacco is forbidden in Bristol. Take care, my darling Emily. Don't go falling asleep. Don't go falling from a rooftop. I love you, Wyman. Wyman's gender is never specified, so... And Emily has really gay energy, and I definitely believe that they are in love. Okay, so she's in Morley right now. Or they. Might be a they. I'm gonna use they.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
There's no way to carry that all out. Those are the two of the men that kidnapped Emily. And Whale, in this world, if this is like the first game you're watching, in this world, whales are an asset. They're utilized for everything. The whale oil will power things, but it's also very flammable, and they use bone charms as per the book that I was picking up earlier, and they use the fat, I believe. Also, they just use all parts of the whale. It's a huge thing here. I don't think it would be necessarily comparable to... I don't think it would be necessarily comparable to what happens in real life, where whaling is a real issue and we need to have a moratorium on it. Necessarily, I think whales are just more... I feel like it's just as common as general fishing, and it is really cool that they use, like, all parts of it. Crown Killer strikes again. This is a newspaper here. Dunwall citizens express shock and fear as yet another outspoken critic of Empress Emily Caldwin has met with a violent demise. The latest victim is none other than our Ichabod Boyle, notable entrepreneur and supporter of the arts. Boyle recently wrote an opinion piece harshly criticizing the Empress for what he called her slipshod style of governance and her willful neglect of duties. Authorities are convinced the Crown Killer is the culprit, given the gruesome details left at the crime scene. As Her Majesty's most outspoken adversaries fall one by one to this notorious assassin, we boldly ask, is it now the duty of the Royal Protector to murder all those who dare to criticize the throne?
The Crown Killer must be connected to all this, with the Duke and Delilah.
I absolutely could not imagine it. Okay, I think no, I'm not done. There's an audiograph.
Emily, my daughter, I know that one day you'll be grown up, and I wonder what you'll remember of these years. Will you recall your time as a child with fondness? Or were there too many caretakers, formal dinners, and lessons about boring old history? Maybe the precious hours we spent together will shine brighter. Time captured now and then with your mother and with Corvo, who was always close to my heart. I hope the season of rats and plague will be nothing more than a passing shadow on your early memories. A crisis come and past, weathered by your mother and her advisors. You'll sit on the throne someday, and will do well, I hope. It's a tricky life, full of responsibility and peril. It was not your choice to be the daughter of an empress, but I believe you'll rise to the challenge. Stay good-hearted, Emily. Keep drawing and telling stories, and only share your power with those you truly trust.
If only I could talk to my mother one more time.
Gosh, I'm emotional every single time. And it's wild, you know?
Old Samuel made this. I'm glad he didn't live to see me driven out of Dunwall Tower.
It's, Oh, another thing that's really neat is... Jessamine, in the first game, Jessamine specifically just refers to him as Corvo, the Royal Protector, etc. And Emily calls him Corvo every time, and it was suspected that he was her father, and then it was just confirmed in this game. Here's a book about Corvo Attano. Yeah, I'll just skim through it. His father died when he was young. He had a sister. There are actually comics of this, and I believe I found them, but I kind of want to find it again because I love the world here. And it involves, like, he has a sister, moved away to Morley, family's subsequent lost contact. So when he was 16, alright, he's a bladesman. Duke of Zirconos, father of Luca Bell. Duke Luca Bell is the person who was brought in those mechanical soldiers. They're called the Clockwork Soldiers, but just in case you didn't know, and he was the one who was involved in this coup. So I guess his father before that was the one who had sent Corvo at 18 to serve the Emperor in Dunwall as a diplomatic gift. It's recorded that Corvo received word that his mother passed away several weeks after his departure from Kurnoth. That has got to be heartbreaking. Like, absolutely heartbreaking. Is there a part 2 in here? I know I'm spending a lot of time in this room.
I have a feeling I'll need these.
Can't leave without these. The Z. There we go. I was trying to figure out what button it was to use that. And yes, I'm Canadian, so it's Z. Get off my butt. I don't know what this one is. Alright, well, if you want to read it, you can pause and read it. I'm not doing that. Alright, off we go.
Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks.
Buddy. This is the last time until the end of the game that we are in the tower. Perhaps in retrospect, other historians will see how easy it was for us to fall into the trap set by schemers who managed the assassination of Empress Jessamine Caldwin. By allowing them to write history, it was for years thought that her trusted protector Corvo Attano was also her murderer. A concept we now know to be utterly false. Yet even after the tricksters themselves were put down, banished, or imprisoned, it remained common knowledge that the royal protector was also Jessamine's murderer. How nicely they arranged history for us, and how readily we devour their stories, hungry for each perfectly cooked morsel. But it is well past time for us to set aside this plate of lies. The schemers were not to be trusted with the Empire or with Jessamine's life, and they are certainly not to be trusted with the writing down of accurate histories. And they're very emotional about it because there is exclamation points. Alright, off I go. Goodbye, tower.
Gotta get out of Dunwall.
And I don't have powers yet, so I gotta be careful. This part is honestly the hardest part. I may be cutting some of it out specifically.
What do I have to do to help my father?
I have to redo a lot of
What do I have to become?
I find those commentary very interesting that she makes, because it really alludes to the idea that we don't really know who she's gonna become. It all depends on what. I don't know if I can drop down and just. Let's see. I guess I'll save actually.
Traitorous dog.
Damn. That was intense.
I need to find a ship. The city is crawling with the Duke's men.
Ramsey's missing. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Emily Caldwin has apparently fled the tower. We've got to find her. That's it, you've got your orders. Spread out and find the fugitive. We're in this with the Duke of Serkanos, sink or swim. There's no way to turn back now.
Some people say Serkanos and some people say Serkonos, which is really interesting, I find, just showing the fact that it has multiple pronunciations.
Gotta keep my mind on my duties. Forget about that kiss. That kiss.
Stay ready. I want you in place just after the Duke and our new Empress make their appearance. Things will happen fast. Do your part, and there's a share of the spoils for you and the others. Turn on me now, and I'll ask the Duke to send his assassin after your dear old parents. Trust me, the so-called Crown Killer is the last dinner guest you want in your home. Mortimer Ramsey. He's the guy we locked in that thing.
Alert. Always. They don't gotta see it twice.
Alright. And this is where I do another save. No! No!
Alright, I'm sorry to cut there. Unfortunately, I had recorded too much to be able to fit into this episode. So it's gonna start suddenly in the next one, and then about a quarter of the way through, we'll hop into my second installment and my second recording. I really appreciate you being here for this journey. I am looking forward to playing through the whole game, and I will see you next time.
Haven't I made it obvious? Haven't I made it clear? Want me to spell it out for you? F-R-I-N-D-S. Haven't I made it obvious? Haven't I made it clear? Want me to spell it out for you? F-R-I-N-D-S. F-R-I-N-D-S.
But I'm not gonna stop fighting until it makes sense again.